Now, here's the host of Good as Gold, Nick Grovich.
Hi, today you've got Don Gause and Carl Ladas in for Nick. He's out helping his daughters do something today, getting ready for college, I think. I just wanted to let you know if you're interested in asking us any questions or calling in, the number is 602-324-1510 for Money Radio. And we've been at this a long time, so we're not quite as good as Nick, but pretty close. Just a couple of things
so let's just dive right in.
Yeah, dive right in. One of the things I wanted to let you know about, you're going to hear some ads on the radio, and if you go out on our website, you'll see this. We're hosting some seminars in the next couple of months. One of the things we try to do is we try to educate our clients so that, well-educated clients actually a lot easier to deal with and a lot easier to do business with because they understand where we're coming from. We get our goals aligned and everything. It just works better. On September 23rd, Wednesday, September 23rd, we're having a seminar at 1 in the afternoon at the Arizona Grand Resort in Phoenix. I think that's the old Point Resort if you've lived here a long time. I've lived here long enough that I think I was a bartender there when I was in college 30 years ago. The seminars last about 2 hours. They're from 1 to 3. We try to educate you as much as we can in a 2-hour period. They're very good. If you have any coins or a list of your coins you want to bring, just be patient. After the seminar, we'll stay there until we take care of all your questions. So we're willing to do that for you.
We try to keep them really small as well. So
yeah.
If you're interested, please call the office and get signed up for the seminar. We try to keep them small and
so we do fill up at some point.
Yeah.
Fast usually. Also on Wednesday, November 4th, we're going to be in Palm Springs at the JW Marriott in Palm Desert doing the same kind of thing. I would imagine that's 1 to 4 also. You can sign up for those by calling 800-221-7694, or you can also sign up on our website at www.americanfederal.com. I also wanted to let you know that Nick will be speaking at Financial Fest at the JW Marriott Desert Ridge on November 4th. That's a Saturday. November 14th, a Saturday. There'll be more information on our website, and Money Radio, I'm pretty sure, is the sponsor of that, so there'll be quite a bit of information on the radio about that. The rest of us will be there to answer questions also. Another thing I'd want you to be aware of is this Sunday on Biz TV. It's a cable network, and you can also look at it on the internet. I think at 11 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Nick's getting an award from a program called Moving America Forward. It's being presented to him by William Shatner, who's the host of the show. For basically, the show honors entrepreneurs that have distinguished themselves in their industries, and there's a nice interview with Doug Llewellyn, who's
People's Court, right?
Yeah, you're exactly
Judge
right.
Waltner.
And they had a film crew in our office, so they didn't let us talk in that, but you'll see Carl, myself, Jen, the whole crew is in there somewhere. It's really a great honor for Nick and our business that they chose us to do that. We've always thought we're a little different than everybody else in the business, and it's just nice to be recognized by other people for what we do, what we bring to the table that is a little different.
Really big deal for us.
It is.
Yeah.
I also, we post a quiz every week on our website, again, www.americanfederal.com. And Nick asks everyone to pick the closing spot price of gold for the Wednesday before the show. So yesterday's closing spot price of gold. And the closest person to the right answer wins a Silver Eagle. And if you get it to the penny, and I think I've heard Nick saying that it to within $1, but you win a $5 Gold Eagle. So anybody can guess. It's fun. And to be honest with you, I don't care how expert you are. It's just luck if you get it right. we get quite a few guesses. And yesterday, Brian C. from Goodyear won. And congratulations, Brian. Your Silver Eagle's in the mail. So
I've been trying to win for weeks, and I found out this morning they won't let employees win.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to let you
Something
win,
wrong with
Carl.
that.
Give me a break. One of the things I wanted to talk today is just basically, I get a lot of questions at the seminars, and I talk about this frequently. My background is I do most of the traveling in the office when I drag Nick with me when we have some big guys to see. But for the most part, I'm the guy that's doing most of the traveling to buy coins from collectors all over the country. And one thing I get asked all the time is, when's the right time to sell? And the honest answer is, we've done a lot of research. We're trying to figure out trends. It depends. I mean, there's some obvious times in the bullion market, but in the collector coin market, there really isn't a right answer. When's the right time to sell? When's the right time to buy? I don't think when you do enough research, it's never the right time to buy or sell. It's really all about the situation that's presented at the time. I'm a huge contrarian, and I like to be buying when everyone's selling. I like to be selling when everyone's buying. So one of the things it's kind of a little bit of a smart aleck answer to the question of when's the right time to buy or sell. But if you're getting a call from 2 or 3 dealers saying this is the right time to buy X coin, it's probably the perfect time to actually be a seller of that coin, because the reality is when the coin market moves, especially on the more common coins, it's because a group of dealers are starting to promote it, and because they're promoting it, they usually do make the prices go up a little bit. And what ends up happening is what they're promoting this year is going to be a different thing than what they're promoting next year. It's a different, every year in my travels, it seems like the one thing that's continuous is I'm not buying, or put it this way, I'm not excited about buying the same things every year. We're always willing to buy people's coins, but there are times when I get very excited about buying things, and that's because the market in that area is hot. Just to talk about the basically a contrarian attitude towards things is right now in the gold. We're about to go to break, so I won't get too windy on it. But right now in the gold market and the silver market, we're playing with 5-year lows on a lot of things. And we're, gold at $1,125 coming off a $1,900 high, and silver at $1,471 coming off almost a $50 high, and platinum at $1,004 today coming, we've had platinum over $2,400 back in 2008 when the economy of the whole world was actually going crazy, and we were selling lots of new cars, and everybody thought it would never end, and things were just going to keep getting better every year. We find out what happens in the long run after that. When we come back from break, we'll talk a little bit more about where the market's at and where we think it has a chance to go in the near future. If you have any questions for us, feel free to call us at 602-324-1510. Thank you. Bye.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
Hi, it's Don and Carl again. We were talking a little bit about a contrarian attitude where you're trying, I guess I'd liken it to, in some of my investing decisions that have worked the best for me, it's almost like I'm running into a burning building when everybody else is running out, and once in a while you're going to lose everything you have doing that, but once in a while you're going to have something that goes up 10 or 15 times. So it's one of those things. I guess I'm a gambler at that stuff. But just to give you an idea, Nick follows a gentleman named Clive Mond. I know he's talked about it on the radio before, who's a very good, he charts everything, and he's a pretty good market timer. And right now, we just put out an email that you can call the office and get on our preferred client list, or you can go on the internet and get added to that, so you get these emails. But the gist of his latest email and chart analysis is that basically he really does feel like we're getting near a bottom. He does have the caveat that bottom fishing is a hazardous game, so you just don't know when you're bottom fishing and whether everything's going to fall out. But he feels fairly comfortable that we're getting near a bottom and the downside risk is not that high on gold and silver, platinum, all the metals right now. There's a couple of guys out there that are calling for $350 gold, so there's always that. Anybody that tells you there's no risk of loss on any of this stuff, run from that advice and hide. But for the most part, it's starting to feel like we're getting close to the bottom on all this stuff, especially the industrial metals that I'm getting worried if the price goes down too much further, we may not be able to find silver coins and platinum coins to deliver to you. Right now, the supply is getting a little bit tough on some of those things.
Yeah, that's something that most people don't think about. It's you want to buy at the lows, but that doesn't mean there's going to be hard assets available to purchase.
Yeah, I mean, the other day you bought Silver Eagles. How far out were they on delivery?
Like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we know we can get them. We know we can lock in, but we're out of ways on delivery on this stuff.
Silver rounds, middle of November.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's silver bars sold out. 100-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars, 5-ounce bars, sold out completely till the end of the year. So
the other thing to be aware of is, and I don't know, I always get nervous about the stock market when we get to October. Some of it's rational and some of it's irrational, but we've had until the last couple of weeks, the stock market was on a run. It's given back pretty much all its profits this year. And there's still a lot of guys thinking that we're in for a rough sailing on stocks here in the next month or two. Well, in 2008, when the stock market took a dive, the stock market and gold were pretty much moving lockstep as they were going up there right before that. And the industrial metals were just flying very high. I mean, right before everything fell apart, platinum at $2,400 an ounce. In the beginning of 2008 before everything fell apart. But you basically, there's a huge difference right now as we've already given back a lot of the market. We're down about 40% off the high on gold, and we're down we've lost more than 50% of the value on silver. So in 2008, when the stock market crashed, it took gold and silver with it. The odds are pretty good that that's not going to happen this time. And the real big difference is with the low interest rates. Where do you go to store your money if you're really worried about banks having problems and the stock market values going down? A lot of people ran to bonds the last time, but right now, with these low interest rates, nobody wants to tie up money in bonds for long periods of time, because if interest rates start to rise, those bonds, you're going to be holding them till the end and not making much money. I mean, if you need money quickly before they come due, a low interest rate bond in a high interest rate time period, you're going to get a fraction of what the face value is on it. So that's the kind of stuff that you have to worry about. But again, it just feels one of the other things that's out there with the gold valuations today is there's an industry survey about bullishness in the gold market, and it's the contrarian play again. It's totally against all your instincts, but right now we have a 0% bullish attitude in the gold market. It's done that twice before, and both times that signaled a bottom. All the experts, just think back to when oil was $150 a barrel. Weren't you reading every single day that would be the cheapest we'd ever see oil? And the same kind of stuff is going on here. People are sort of giving up on everything. Nobody thinks that gold's going to go back up. It's probably about the right time for everything to start moving in the right direction. At the very least, it seems like there's a lot less downside risk. Now you talk about contrarian attitude in the coin market. Just that we've been, this last couple of weeks, both Carl and I and Nick, we've all bought deals that have a bunch of $20 gold coins that, frankly, they're not rare coins. They're not even really collector coins. When you look at MS6320, I just did this for a client this week. MS63 $20 St. Gaudens, which is a coin dealers, that's kind of a bread and butter coin for a lot of the big coin dealers. There's over 500,000 have been graded in MS63. There's nothing rare about that. I can sell you bullion coins from the U.S. Mint that have been made in the last 20 years that have a fraction of that in their whole production run. So they've made a lot less than that number of coins. And there's still nice coins that haven't been graded out there that could be if the premiums went back up. So you have coins out there right now that dealers are trying to keep their doors open. They're doing their best to sell this stuff, and the real big difference right now, and it's totally contrary to what most people think. Most people say, I've got $20 gold coins, gold's down. I'm not going to call my dealer. I'm sure the value of those coins are down. Well, the reality is they're trading at the highest premium over their gold value that we've seen in the last 6 or 7 years. And I've got guys that 3 years ago at $1,600 gold, I told to keep your $20 gold pieces, because if you wanted to do a trade, you're going to end up with less gold. Well, right now they're getting a lot more gold than they have right now, and the reality is at $1,600, $1,800, $1,900 gold, you don't realize how small that market is. If all of a sudden 10% of the people that hold those coins decide to sell on the same day, you've got coins that right now are getting 30, 40, 50% premiums over their gold value that are suddenly gold coins. The premium's just gone away if everyone starts to sell at the same time.
Well, I guess if you were betting on gold going down, owning the 20 libs and 63 is not a bad deal, but how many people buy those hoping gold's going down?
Well, that's true, and that's quite the contrarian play. Those coins have gone down in value. They're not worth what they were at $1,600 gold, but they haven't gone down as much as gold has gone down, which is why you have a chance to increase your gold holdings. Hold something that's easier to sell at the top of the market. Hold something that says what it is on it. It's a modern coin that says what it is. And the dirty little secret, a lot of guys that Nick's gone on and a lot in this, and we have a book on it, is that those on confiscation, a lot of guys sell $20 gold coins, telling you that they're exempt from confiscation if Obama decides to take your gold away from you. Well, the reality is those are the coins that Franklin Roosevelt confiscated in 1933. I always sort of laugh about that because I grew up in a household, if you mentioned Franklin Roosevelt's name, you would probably be kicked out of the dinner table by my grandfather. So he wasn't happy with him. But so that's kind of where we're at with that stuff. There's a lot of contrarian things that happen in the gold and silver and all the commodities markets. It works exactly the opposite of how you think it should work a lot of times, and that's one of the things that most people don't realize. Most of the people we see with $20 gold coins, they were sold those coins as some kind of turbocharged gold that should far outperform gold in a rising market, and I've never seen it happen. Just because I've never seen it happen doesn't mean it'll never happen. I would love it if it happened because that makes my life easier, but it seems like it just part of why we make the money that we make helping people is because it isn't an easy business. So that's kind of
saved by the bell.
Yeah, and Nick's very good at it. He's been at it a long time. So I think we're about to go to break again. I hate to just keep running on as we go into break. You can call us here at 602-324-1510. And I think I'm out of time to tell you our office number. Thank you.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
Hi, it's Carl and Don back again today. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, it's just when we talk about the coin market and what makes sense and doesn't make sense, right now it seems like I'm constantly getting phone calls from people that call up and say, Don, I've been offered Morgan dollars for $60. Is that a good deal? Well, I don't know. They're not giving me enough information to even tell them if it's a good deal or not. I suspect it's a horrible deal. But generally what's going on right now is a lot of the dealers we've got a lot of people that are looking at it and agree with us that we're at the bottom of a market and they're trying to buy gold and silver. So they call up a good dealer will sell you gold and silver and not have a big problem. They may mention things about the coins. They may even tell you it's a good way to diversify. I'm not going to say if you've got enough gold and silver that you feel like you have a proper hedge. Collectible coins are probably a great way to diversify. The great question is are you buying collectible coins, or are you buying stuff that's easy for your dealer to get and they're sort of telling you it's a collectible coin. Nick likes, there's a lot of collectible coins right now that Nick likes. It's probably best to give him a call at the office at 1-800-221-7694 to go over that kind of information, because he's got a lot of great ideas, coins that have been trading at prices that we feel are supported by the collector community, and whether or not they'll go up in the future is anybody's guess, but it just feels like they're not going to go down, and they really are collectible coins.
They're not tied to the metals markets whatsoever. It's totally
it has
separate
nothing
market.
to do with it. So the other part of the market, so we're talking about Morgan dollars. Well, at $40 silver, the average circulated Morgan dollar was hard to sell and was trading for about its metal value, which the metal value on those coins are 0.77 ounces of silver. So make it simple, at $40 silver, they're worth a little over $30 a coin. And what's going on right now at $14 silver, there's about a little over $11 worth of silver in those things. And I can sell into the marketplace anywhere from $16 to $25 is what I can get selling them wholesale, depending on condition. I mean, uncirculated coins are worth quite a bit more. But
we've got a high premium because people are calling dealers to buy silver. They're getting swapped into Morgan dollars. So the dealers need the Morgan dollars, and how do you flush them out of the market? Well, you offer them at a higher bid.
Yeah.
So that helps us out with our clients because we can get them a lot more silver.
Well, the reality is the Silver Eagle market's very competitive. Everybody can go out and look on the internet and see what the prices are, and everyone seems to, I mean, there's some guys that'll work cheap, we'll sell them for a cost sometimes just to get your name so they can bother you to call you and sell you coins with a higher markup. But most of the good dealers in the country are lucky if they make $1 a coin selling you a Silver Eagle. They're lucky if they make $30 a coin selling you Gold Eagle. So what happens is that a lot of the dealers, they would rather put you into a Morgan dollar, a $20 St. Gaudens, something that it's not that hard for them to get their hands on, but that they...
we actually have an exchange. You can get on there, and if you could sell coins you don't even own, that's the beauty of it. You can get on the exchange and buy them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's just amazing right now. I mean, Carl and I have both been on the road on this one. There's a lot of people we told, if you like silver at $30 and you were at $40 an ounce silver, and you thought it was going up, and at $40 silver, you hold your Morgan dollars when they're worth the weight of silver. But at $14 silver, when they're worth anywhere from a 35% premium to 100% premium over the price of silver, you get yourself a bigger pile of silver, because when silver goes back up, you're going to have a bigger pop for your, bigger return on your investment if you're holding the right product and an easier product to sell.
It's funny, every time we talk about silver, the first thing that pops into my mind is I bought 500 ounces at $32 silver. Well, it was a good buy at the time.
Yeah.
It was darn near $50 an ounce 3 weeks earlier, and it dropped down to 32. It hovered, and I bit the bullet and bought 500 ounces. Well, guess what I had to do? I had to buy another 500 ounces at under $15 silver. Cost average, dropped my cost down to like $23, $24.
Yeah, well, dollar cost averaging is a good way to invest in almost anything, because nobody knows where things are going. The guys that in our business, the guys that we are always amazed at are making the most money are the guys that said, "Oh, I'm buying $500 a month in silver or $500 a month in gold," and they did it for 30 years in a row. And those guys all started when gold was under $300 an ounce and silver was $4 or $5 an ounce. So it looks like a fantastic investment. It was a fantastic investment for them. So, But part of that's just saving money. It helps a lot too in that area.
Yeah, it's like sitting on cash.
Yeah.
You can sit on cash, but why not sit on gold? You can turn it into cash. It's super liquid. Gold bullion.
Well,
why not?
The big thing that we're trying to get at in this is that one of the services that we offer is, we call it CPR. It's Coin Performance Review. And what we ask you to do is send in a list, and we travel all over looking at coins too. Send in a list of your coins, and we'll give you an idea of what their current value is. We'll give you an idea of our thoughts on where they're going based on, where they went historically. And a lot of what we find, there are coins that people have out there that it's hard for people to imagine this, but the kind of collectors that were out there when Nick and I and Carl were kids don't exist anymore. There aren't 14-year-olds filling up penny books. So if you've got books of pennies, nickels, quarters, dimes, it may make sense to get out of that kind of stuff. The part of the coin market that's actually doing well is the super rarities, the things that are at the top of the heap. The rest of the market, there are coins out there that, I'll be honest with you, in 10 years we may not be able to buy them back because we don't buy things that we can't sell. Our whole business model, the reason we're able to do $20 million a year in buying is because we have buyers for things. We don't buy things that we can't sell pretty rapidly. And it just doesn't work any other way. And there are certain coins that I'm just scared to death that there won't be buyers of. Things like proof and mint sets, some of which are worth quite a bit of money and some of which are already not worth very much. But I visit the guys we sell those to, and they just have bigger and bigger back rooms full of this stuff. And there's a lot of interesting things happening with those things. With one of the hot parts of the collector market are more modern coins graded in high grades. But I've had guys that I've run into that have been grading stuff out of those that have MS-69 Jefferson nickels. I sort of looked at that market and go, who the heck cares? But when I've done a couple of deals in the last few years where I've picked up a bunch of that stuff, and it's a very funny market. The first couple of coins like that you put into the marketplace, you do real well, and by the time you sell the fourth or fifth of the same coin, it's a coin that's worth $5 instead of being worth $100. It's like there's very few people that collect it, but there are collectors out there still. Just in the last year, we had a part of the modern market, the things like Jackie Robinson $5 gold coins, the Atlanta Olympic coins.
Library of Congress.
We had a couple of big market makers in that business who both passed away, and nobody's picked up the gauntlet. So you have coins that have gone from being worth, a quarter. They're basically a quarter ounce of gold that were worth $2,000-$3,000. That it's hard to find a buyer at $400 or $500, which is still more than the gold value, but.
Far cry from where they were when those two guys were alive pushing them.
And is somebody going to start pick up the pace and do it? I don't know. I'm not seeing it so far. Mm-hmm. They're kind of cool. They are kind of rare. I mean, if you could buy those close to bullion price, I think that's a great way to buy it.
Yeah, but low mintages.
Would I tell somebody to buy them even at $500 or $1,000 right now without those market makers around? I have a hard time recommending them because I just don't know when it's going to come back. And it's an interesting marketplace that basically a small number of dealers, when they get behind a type of coin, can really move the market. We talk about things that have come and gone. There was a few years ago. In fact, I'm seeing a guy in New England next month who about 6 years ago I offered him 2 gold eagles for every one of his proof gold eagles, and talk about kicking yourself. Gold was about $800 an ounce, and at $1,900 an ounce, I was basically paying him $2,000 an ounce for proof gold eagles when gold was about $850, $900, and he would have had at $1,900 gold. Those were trading at $100 over spot. So basically, they were worth the same amount of money at $2,000 gold as they were worth at $900 gold. And
huge premium.
Yeah, there's a part of me that thinks, well, that may be wishful thinking, but I think that premium will come back someday. At least I hope it will, because that was a great year for me. I ran around the country buying proof gold eagles like crazy.
Well, if you're on our preferred customer list, we will notify you if that happens. Otherwise, I don't know how most of the people that own this stuff are going to even know.
No, you find out because you're being offered them. Yeah. You know, when I can sell them into the market at $2,000, they're probably being offered to you at $2,500.
Not to mention how many of those coins are in IRAs that people.
Yeah,
they could double their gold. They just never know.
So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting market that way. But I've always told people, when I'm excited about buying something, there's usually good reason. I'm not a good poker player. You usually can tell when I'm excited. That's it. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
Hi, again, it's Don and Carl. I just wanted to go in a little bit more about what Carl and I really do for Nick, and we have some other salesmen there that are more oriented towards selling. Carl and I will sell you anything you'd like to buy, but our focus, I guess, is more on the CPR, the coin performance review, and one of the reasons we're so focused in on that is just a quick question for most people we ask at our seminars is, how many times has somebody told you it's the right time to sell? The
Crickets.
Reality is,
crickets in the audience every time we ask that question.
The reality there is, and it's not a dig on anybody. There's a lot of good people in the coin business, and some of them are moving a lot of rare coins. But the problem is, let's just say I decide I want to tell all my clients it's the time to buy silver commemoratives. They're pretty cheap. They're pretty coins. There's a great story behind all of them. The bad news is they've done nothing but sort of slink a little bit lower every year for the last 10 years. So I don't recommend them. But let's say I decide I want to recommend them. The first thing that happens in the coin market is all the other dealers out there start to recognize I'm the guy that's promoting that type of coin. The next thing that happens is they just assume I'm going to be the best buyer in the country because I've got retail clients for those coins. So they're giving me their best coins. They're probably expecting me to pay a little bit more. When they know I want something that I don't have in particular, they're going to do their darndest to hold me up. I mean, it's just the nature of the game. There's a lot of brinksmanship in this business. We do it too. When we have a coin that somebody wants, we do our best to get our clients as much money for that coin as possible. And the reality is, the day, if all of a sudden I decide it's the right time to sell and I'm the market maker, the next day that market probably took a 50% haircut because I'm the market. So your success just destroys you in that business. It's a small business, and the more successful you are at selling, the harder it is to help your clients sell into that market. It sort of becomes, it's more of a game. I mean, if I don't want, you don't want your clients to sell, you can't recommend they sell. Some of your clients will probably do pretty well if you're selling enough and promoting enough, but it's kind of hit and miss. You can't exactly be advising them it's time to sell, because the day that you do, the market takes a hit, and the only place you can sell those coins is to retail clients. If you've got 25% of your clients wanting to sell, or even 5 or 10% of your clients wanting to sell, and you have to go back to other dealers, the cat's out of the bag the second you have to sell to other dealers. And as a result, we see a lot of this. You have a lot of people talking you out of trading out of your bullion coins and into rare coins, because the dirty,
especially when bullion hasn't done anything in 3 years.
Well, yeah. Well, I just, I've had that happen. We don't make the same markups as some of these guys, so we don't probably call our clients as often as everybody else does. We don't bother you as often, but you have somebody that sits there and goes, wow, gold's doing nothing for me the last 3 years, and the next thing you know, they get talked into trading their bullion for rare coins. And the reason that dealers like that is, the dirty little secret is, gold is as good as money. If I'm making market in a rare coin, I can go to the market and turn gold into cash anytime I want, but I can't turn rare coins into cash, especially if it's a rare coin that everyone knows that I'm promoting to my client base. So that's the reality of what goes on there. And one of the things we do with the coin performance review is we'll go through your coins that you've bought, and depending on who you bought from, we may have some bad news for you. It's another reason why when we have good news or we get excited about something, it doesn't happen that often, and we get when we have good news for somebody, we do get excited about it. But the coin performance review really is an important thing. You need to understand where you stand today. You need a strategy going forward that makes sense. A lot of times I'll tell people to hold gold, hold silver. What we're waiting for is to see if premiums pop up like they have in Morgan dollars.
Yeah, wait on your Morgan dollars 2 years ago. Now it's a great time to double up on your silver, even more.
And there's always something that's going on that's positive, and we sell an awful lot of bullion to people too, so we've had some crazy stuff happen with bullion. I mean, people we just sold gold bullion coins to. Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden they're worth 3-4 times their weight in gold.
Well, Carl had a good one last year. He had a nice little old lady, put her into half-ounce gold eagles.
Yeah.
And she was distraught that she was, the gold was down, and she brought him in, and we sell a lot of half-ounce gold eagles to people. This was a few years ago that she got them, and we do now, but we didn't used to keep track of the dates of the half-ounce gold eagles. And right now there's 14 dates of half-ounce gold eagles that are trading for way over their bullion value. And she just happened to have a date that we gave her back then. Carl was able to give her a 1-ounce coin for every half-ounce coin.
How do you beat that?
Yeah, I mean, how do you lose there? Because and
I offered to write her a check. She could have just cashed out a half of it, and she still would have maintained the same amount of ounces. She wanted more. She wanted double the hedge.
Yeah, and so she wasn't really losing money, basically, even though gold was down, because we put her into something that popped up on independent of gold. And to be honest with you, there are some opportunities buying bullion if you want to be a little adventurous with U.S. bullion coins that you can, give Carl or I a call. We'll go over some stuff. Some of them are very hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, even if you have a older date, gold eagles, call us with the dates. Maybe who knows? Maybe
we may be able to do something for you.
Yeah.
So. And take care of those coins. Don't drop them on the floor or scratch them up or anything when you're handling them.
Don't let the baby play with them.
Yeah, if they don't look nice, we're not going to be able to get extra money for them. But they're still gold. So that's kind of the stuff that we do. I mean, there's a lot of different strategies that you can have, and it's good that we know. Like with these $20 coins, I had Jen run me a report last night just because I think this thing might last a few months, so maybe we can help some more people get out of it. And we know where there's probably $40 or $50 million of $20 coins that people have held, that we know about, that we've talked to over the last few years, and it makes our day when we can call somebody up. It's a funny conversation because, what are they worth? Well, they're not worth as much as they were at $1,800 gold, but we can give you X number of gold eagles.
However,
for them. Yeah,
you can end up with more gold, a bigger pile of gold. We do that too. See, folks, we listen to our clients. Call us, tell us what you're trying to accomplish, and then we'll base our recommendations on what you're trying to accomplish. So we've got a lot of people we've told that they're just gold bugs. They're just gold bugs. They just love gold. They're stuck in 20s, saints and libs, sometimes lower grades. If we can't better your position, we're just going to tell you, sit tight. There's always a liquidity factor, but sit tight, and who knows, maybe the premium comes back a little bit down the road. That's what Don's talking about. We've got people, we've told them, sit on your Morgan dollars.
Got 1 minute left.
Oh, we got 1 minute left?
Yeah. So
all right, I'll be quiet. Keep going, Don.
I don't know about keep going. I just, if you have any questions, just give Carl, myself, Nick a call at the office, 1-800-221-7694. Our local number is 480-553-5282. And I just would urge you guys that if you're interested in coming to one of our seminars, we have one coming up on September 23rd at the Arizona Grand Resort. And give Jen at our office or a call or sign up on the internet. I don't know how many, I'm guessing that's under 50 seats available. And
they're really good seminars.
They
folks.
do fill up.
Yeah.
They fill up pretty quickly. So, and Jen always gets us good snacks too. So
soft pretzels.
So I don't know. We try to keep it lighthearted. I think we're a fun group of people to work with. We don't try and pressure you. We try to listen very hard to what you're trying to accomplish and try to help you get achieve your goals and have you in the most liquid position that you can be in going forward. Because nothing worse is having things go your way and I can't write you a check. So that's it. Thank you.